You've probably seen everybody jumping into Claude Code because of its impressive coding abilities. And honestly, this is true. Claude Code is probably one of the best coding agents that exist out there at the moment. But the thing is that most start the development with Claude Code with a prompt such as build me an Uber for dogs, and then allowing Claude Code to start the development directly. And whilst this might be acceptable for building small tools, when you start looking into bigger, more complex applications, you'll probably end up with crappy spaghetti code. And that's because you have skipped the essential aspects of professional software programming, such as architecture planning, UI UX design, security, and testing. And that's why I'm excited today to bring you SuperClaude, a framework I found that layers these professional development phases on top of Claude Code. And this is great for developers, but a life changer for vibe coders or non-technical builders that want to ship rock solid MVPs and potentially full stack applications without getting lost in these endless AI loops. All right, so we're here in their GitHub repository, which we will install in a second. But essentially, you can think of SuperClaude as the set of predefined workflows that are going to be triggered inside Claude Code, and they're going to cover the most common development tasks. Talking about these tasks, you can see them below over here under the commands header, and they're going to cover everything from the actual development, right? Actual code development, project analysis, project quality, and some other things as well. And we can also see that they added these personas, which I guess they are AI agents or LLMs with specific prompts added in the background, and they're going to take different roles. So we can see here that we have the architect role, which is going to be in charge of systems design and project architecture. Then we have the front-end agent or specialist, which is going to take care of the UI, UX, and accessibility. The one that's going to take care of the backend, the analyzer, security, and even one for documentation. And it seems that we have 5 more specialists, which we'll cover in this video. And don't forget that in order to use SuperClaude, you will need Claude Code. So I will leave a video in the description where I go through this process of installing Claude Code, as well as very good tips and tricks that you will need in order to get started with Claude Code. All right, so once you have installed Claude Code on your code editor of choice, whether that's Cursor, RuCode, VS Code, whatever it is, then we are going to install SuperClaude. So first thing that you have to do is clone the repository. So you're gonna go ahead and open a terminal in your computer, and you're gonna choose where you want to install it. So in this case, I want to install it in Documents, and it's gonna git clone. Yes. And then we're cloning SuperClaude over here. And then the next thing that you have to do is come over here and cd into SuperClaude, okay? So cd SuperClaude. It's a SuperClaude with the big C. Cool. Once you're inside the SuperClaude folder, you're going to want to run the following command. So if you go a bit below over here, you are going to see this. Python-m SuperClaude install, okay? So you're gonna copy that and paste it over here, and this will take you through the installation process. So now you'll see different installation choices: quick installation, minimal installation, or custom selection. You are going to choose the easiest one, which is number 1. Gonna press enter, continue and update existing installation. You're gonna press yes, and then you are going to proceed with installation. So big Y. Right, that was pretty quick. And all you have to do now is just restart your Claude Code session, and the commands that we saw earlier in the start of the video will be available inside Claude Code. Right, so once the installation is complete, you can go back to your editor. In this case, it's Cursor for me. You can reopen Claude Code, and once you put /, you should see all of the SC commands, SC standing for SuperClaude. But we want to take this one step further to give SuperClaude even more functionalities. So if we go back to the GitHub repository, we see that when useful, SuperClaude will connect to these 4 different MCPs. So for Context7, this will grab official library documentations and patterns so that whatever we build with, it will contact up-to-date documentation, which is pretty important because you know how much language models in general hallucinate with this, even when they have online search tools. We also have access to Sequential, which helps with complex multi-step thinking. And then we have Magic to help with UI component generation. And then we have finally Playwright, which will help with testing. So in order to check what MCP servers you have already installed, which should be none in your case, you can go to /MCP, manage MCP servers, and you can see that we have no MCP servers configured. So that's because we are going to install these MCP servers now. So in order for Claude Code to connect to these MCP servers, we are going to run a few terminal commands. 4 in this case, because we're connecting to 4 MCP servers. So on the terminal over here, we are going to run the first command to connect to Context7. So Claude MCP add transport Context7, press enter. Okay, great. Now we are going to grab the other one. And by the way, I will be leaving these in the description below. So now I will be adding sequential thinking to that one. Oh, and there seems to be an error with that. I think I added an extra hyphen. So sequential thinking. Right, so I think I made a typo. Let's paste that again. Cool. Let's install the Playwright MCP. Cool. And now we are going to install the MagicUI MCP. Great. And now if we go back over here onto Claude Code /MCP, it makes sense because we probably need to restart Claude Code. So if we go ahead, terminate this, rerun Claude Code again, and now we /MCP, we should see 4 different MCP servers over here, and they should be connected. Okay, cool. Right, so you go / here, we can see the different commands that we can run. And if you go over here, you can see the table with a little bit more information about this. Okay, so we can see, for example, here the scanalyze one. Purpose is for smart code analysis, and it's best for finding issues and understanding code bases. So you can go ahead and select that one. We can just run it like that, and what it's going to do is that it's going to also run a set of sub-commands, if you may. Okay, and these sub-commands, we have control over them. We have control over which sub-commands we want to run. And this is under the flags. And if you read over here, you can see flags are modifiers that change how SuperClaude processes your requests. They come after commands that start with $. So as you see here, we can run scanalyze, and then we can select exactly what subcommands or flags we want to trigger. So for example, if I go over here and do scanalyze, not only it runs subcommands, these flags also include the different personas. So if you remember, there's a personas guide over here, and you can choose between an architect over here, as you see. So we want to design some microservices migration, and we're choosing a specific persona. If we're running a different set of commands, so let's say I want to build a dashboard, we will also attach the front-end persona over here. So you don't need to worry much about these. These get to be selected automatically based on what you're asking. But this is just the flags that will allow you to select more specific commands or also specific personas are only useful when you exactly know what you want out of this. But if you don't, then as explained over here, you don't need to pick personas and memorize what they do. And on the flags as well, say the same thing. You don't need to memorize the flags. SuperClaude usually tries to add helpful ones based on what you're doing anyways. So most of you, if you get started, just want to start with literally the main commands that you see over here, right? So that's all you probably want to check. So if you go on to scanalyze right now, we're going to select that, and it's just going to analyze the project comprehensively. And based on my specific scenario and specific code that it's reading, it's going to run specific flags and use different personas. So let's say if it sees a specific error or badly made code on the front-end part of my app, then it would run the front-end developer persona, right? That has probably specific prompts about how to fix the front-end code. We see here that it ran an error, but it's going to go ahead and probably fix that. It's doing performance analysis and optimization opportunities. So if you're still confused about the difference between this and normal Claude Code, well, SuperClaude is just an extension of Claude Code, okay? We're just giving it very specific set of instructions for properly building software applications, because Claude Code by itself is a pretty generic coding tool. Right? You could create automation tools, right? To automate a task, for example. You can build a web app, you could build an Electron app, right? A desktop application. So by using SuperClaude, you can essentially be really specific with what you want to build, because it gives you the ability to really choose between all of these different flags, different personas. So if you want to build a front end and back end as well, you only want to build a desktop application, right? So it gives you that granularity. It gives you the ability to be really specific with stuff that you want to fix, stuff that you want to check, stuff that you want to build. And we can see over here that it gave us an analysis report. So it gave us how it's built. So the stack application with Express backend, overall health good with improvements. Of course, I'm still building the app. It gives me an architecture analysis as well. So it works with React 18, Vite, Tailwind CSS, and it seems like it's all good. It's given an architecture score as well, 8.5 out of 10. And the code quality, of course, is pretty bad because I'm still working on it. And I probably created some random spaghetti code as well because I wasn't very specific with some of the prompts I gave to Claude Code. So we see some TypeScript issues, probably with some linter types, React hook dependencies, interface conflicts, and we get a quality score as well. And if we go here, well, it's pretty good security score, cool. So performance score 7 out of 10. And it gives us at the end, based on those scores, some key recommendations, okay? And it gives it in the sense of priorities. So what to focus on first? Okay, gotta first focus on the code quality, on the performance, and maintainability as well. And then we get a nice little table with all the different scores. So I would say this is pretty helpful and something that, you know, Claude Code can't do out of the box. So this is a great extension to add when you want to just check over the overall health of your code base. I think that's really helpful. So yeah, this is, I think, really crucial as well, and something that software developers do every now and then whilst building. Okay, so you would essentially build different modules, build different sections of the code, and then you would do checks like these, right? This is really helpful in order to build healthy code. So what I show you right now is an example of how you can use SuperClaude on an existing project or code base, right? You can start by asking SuperClaude to analyze your entire code base and search for gaps in terms of compliance, functionality, and whatnot. But what if you want to start on an entirely new project? So I have prepared here a set of very specific instructions or commands that you can test out and run for different parts of the project. Okay, I will be leaving this in the private community. Just to note, we have already more than 200 members inside the community, and we just launched around last week. So we're gonna host a lot of stuff, really exciting weekly events. We're gonna divide people into accountability groups, which is a very important feature that many of you were asking for. So this will be the first link in the description. So if you're considering leveling up in N810 and AI coding, and, you know, understanding the world of AI startups, AI agents, really in depth, then make sure to check out Neural Architects Pro. It's going to be the first link in the description. So essentially, I've separated this into two main blocks. So the planning and building block, and then the troubleshooting, because it's going to happen often that you probably run into some errors by running these. Okay, these are not perfect. And yeah, so I added this troubleshooting section here of commands that I think would work really well, you know, from me actually trying this stuff out. And I will show you very quickly what one of these means. Right, so we have the project planning one, okay, then we do the front-end development, then we do the back-end development, then we do a quality check, then we do a security scan, okay, and I think there's one last one over here. We check for performance, okay, we're gonna optimize for performance. And so there's a couple of sub-processes that you wanna follow, right? So planning, front-end, back-end, database, right? So these are all based from general guidelines for building a full stack application, okay? So I left them over here for you to grab. But just for example, over here, you can see that we do scope analysis and action plan. So we're doing SE analyze, and we're examining the project scope, okay? Scope project, and we're outputting a plan. And we're doing this using the architect persona, which is specialized for this. Okay, if you want to be very specific. And as I mentioned before, by already running the general ones, you should already have it enough. That should already be enough for you. But this is just to be extremely meticulous with exactly what commands you want to run. As I said, the flags are for you to run very specific commands and have full control of SuperClaude, okay? To kind of squeeze the maximum power. But yeah, take this with a pinch of salt, okay? This is based on my own experience, trying this out, trying SuperClaude out. And I would recommend, if you are trying to do these from scratch, okay, make sure you understand what these all mean, or you're a bit technical. But for the majority of users that are watching this video, you should be fine by just putting in the general command and adding a prompt. So the way you add a prompt is just at the end of all the commands that you add, space, and then you put in the prompt that you want to add, right? So prompt here, okay? That's all you need to do, space and then prompt here. That's all you need to do. So for most people, perhaps you will only need to do SC prototype and then go like that, space, and just put build me a prototype of X and Y and Z with this library and whatnot, okay? And then you close and then you press enter, and then you should be fine with that, okay? And then just switch between all the different general commands. But yeah, we are going to try building something from scratch. We are going to test the performance of SuperClaude right now. I'm gonna really squeeze the living daylights out of it right now. So I prepared some challenging prompts or commands over here. We're gonna try building an AI video editor to see how far we get. I'm not expecting anything crazy, but yeah, let's see how it goes. So let's come over here. Let's copy the prompt that I made in advance. Let's paste it over here. And let's get it. Right, so analyze requirements and define system constraints, for AI video editing SaaS, signing high-level system architecture and component interactions. All right, so this is how it would work. A lot of technical stuff going on over here, but hopefully you understand some. We have a model store, so that's probably okay. We have an S3 storage, cool. We have vector database over here, some monitoring. I think that's a content delivery network. But yeah, a lot of technical stuff, load balancer, rate limiting, right? This is stuff that, you know, if you're not a systems architect, you won't even consider in your application. So this is actually something good to plan at the start on a high-level system architecture. It's always good. All right, this is pretty detailed. So we get an AI agent pipeline architecture, ingestion agents. That's going to do the video decoding, the quality check, right? Export agents. Okay, so we have multiple agents working here. I don't know if this is the best setup. It seems to be too many agents, but let's let it be. We're creating a post-create table. Pretty cool. Okay, by the way, this is the planning stage. There's not much going on right now. Some GraphQL schema. Okay, so we end up over here with an implementation roadmap. Okay, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I mean, this is a pretty big project, so it makes sense. So the MVP says will take 3 months. Hopefully with Claude Code, we can do it in 3 days. I'm kidding. It is a complex project. I just want to see where we can get with this. So I was gonna grab the features roadmap. So let's plan the features in a bit more detail. Auto cut, video transitions, batch upload, summarization, analytics. Okay, so we're now gonna do some market analysis. We're running now a comprehensive market analysis. And to be honest, this part can just be done on Perplexity or on ChatGPT or whatever. But the fact that we can do everything over here is pretty cool and just saves a lot of hassle of having to move context between one place and the other, right? The fact that you can do research, everything that you need, and bring all the data that you need into the place where you're going to build your app. I think it's important because, as I said, then you don't lose any context, or at least that much context. And it seems like we already have access to a web search tool, which is amazing. We don't need to connect Claude Code to an MCP for that. It just does it already out of the box, so that's pretty good. Okay, so quick catch up on where we're at right now. So I actually didn't follow the further prompts from phase 2 or 3. I didn't follow through because it was getting a bit long and I don't want to do quality performance or local development. So I tried to grab some other commands so that we could just go quicker into showing you something on localhost. So this is what I had a bit before. So I actually am a bit forward in the build at the moment, but this is what I had maybe 10 minutes ago. It was literally such few prompts. So what I can do now is I can choose a video file and I can add in this. So let me just add that over here and I can play back.
Is your AI chip shipment?
So it's pretty good given that I did not troubleshoot it or anything. This is essentially one shot. It fixed its own errors, if it even barely had. It shows me the name of the file as well, some instructions. So this is pretty good. And now I'm a bit further into it and I asked it to search for an open source library to just copy some of the features to go a bit quicker. And I literally just said open cut. Copy, like not copy, but grab some features from the open cut library. And it went up to the right GitHub without me explaining any further about the library. So I'm a bit shocked, honestly, how good this is. But I'm gonna pause again and I'll share what I have in a few minutes. All right, so a few moments later and a few Claude Code generations later, we have the second iteration of the app. So I'm just gonna switch over to this window and it's running right now on localhost, right? And what I can do is grab multiple videos, not just one, right? So I can select these. I can include larger videos as well, 18 minutes. So we're processing those videos. We can see a thumbnail of those videos. We can delete the videos as well if we want. And let's add it back though. Let's not add that one. Let's add this one over here. So we have 3 different videos. We have a timeline editor as well. We can drag videos up and down. Looks like cool. We can change the order. Although the state of these don't work, but that's fine. As I said, I didn't spend a proper amount of time here. Okay, just wanted to demonstrate something quick. But you can see that we have created a timeline and let's see if that works. So we're gonna drag this across and if we click play.
Welcome back. In this lesson, we will go through the Anytime Fast Track.
This is actually a video from the private community. It's an Anytime Fast Track guide if you're interested. But we can track the exact seconds that this pin is located at, okay? With pretty precise accuracy if you check on the right side over here. Okay, we're checking per 0 0.01 seconds accuracy, which is pretty good. And let's see over here, we can detect the timeline position right below. So this is pretty good. We have some instructions, and let's check what happens if we move the pin across here. Okay, no video current timeline position, which is great. You can scroll across to other parts of the videos. So let's see what happens if we play this.
And to equip you with the essentials, and
it pauses. Okay, I didn't really specify what I wanted it to do. It knows that as well on the pin as I'm moving it across. We have obviously 3 videos loaded, but once it crosses this box over here, it knows that we are on video 1. Now we're on video 2, as you see over here. Let me try to zoom in over here, video 2. And let's see if we run it from here. Let's see if it does play from there.
Is your AI chip shipment?
Okay, cool. This is an AI generated video. I'm just testing out another workflow that I'm sharing in the private community as well. But anyways, we're gonna come across another part of the video.
AI chip export.
There's a gap, it pauses, pretty good. It detects a 3rd video, so play video 3, and then we're gonna play that.
What if I told that
and then it starts
now
playing
you
from
can
there.
generate entire workflows?
This is pretty good. It's shocking how good it is based on the fact that I barely gave it any detailed instructions. So the instructions I generated on ChatGPT 04, and I just said based on the GitHub repository from SuperClaude, generate me an example set of instructions for an AI video app. And it came with that. I am talking about this part at the end, right? So all this I actually had a decent go through. Right, this is based from what I tried out, but yeah, this is an example generated by ChatGPT 04, and the fact that it came with this, right? Obviously, this was more of a job from Claude Code and SuperClaude, but yeah, I mean, you can see how good it is by barely giving it any of my input. It planned out everything. It planned out the market research. It planned out the prototype. It added all these files. It noted as well, it documented the different features available as well. Advanced filtering, video upload, visual design system. It came up with the color palettes, right? It's all described here. So this is pretty impressive. I definitely encourage you to try this out. It's still at its early stages, but I think it's worth a shot for you to have a taste on what the future of AI coding looks like. I think this is state-of-the-art AI coding framework right here, right? SuperClaude. So definitely give it a shot. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Let me know if you tried it. So if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and a follow. It really helps my channel. And if you didn't like the video for some reason, or you have any future suggestions for any future videos, also let me know in the comments below. I'll leave you with all this. And yeah, if you want to join the community, the private community over here, feel free to join. We have a founding member discount at the moment. There's a decent amount of people already in the community, but yeah, we are preparing really cool events with really cool people. And I'll be sharing a lot of my software builds live over here in this community. And there's so much more planned, okay? We're planning to get you from 0 to 100 with an A10. And just to clarify, the plan with this community is to not only get you from 0 to 100 in AI and automation and AI coding, but I want you to be a really good AI generalist, because given how quick the space is moving, some tools might become obsolete. So I'm a really big believer of principles over tools. And that is what I'm currently praising, and I will praise a lot in this community. So we're bringing a lot of AI experts that will be talking about many different things in the AI space, and you will get a little golden nuggets over there and there, in addition to the amazing courses that I already have. Okay, so the N8N masterclass that I have at the moment, but I will be adding a lot more stuff. I will be inviting a lot of amazing people as well. So yeah, stay tuned. A lot is coming. And of course, I will be leaving the resources from this video over here as well. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.